Hi everyone, in this video I am going to design Bootstrap 5 landing page from the beginning. So we have different links at the top and the logo, and then we have our hero section. So if I click on the services, it goes to the services page, sorry, services section, and you can see the effect. And then we have our feature section, and after the feature we have our portfolio section, so you can see the effect. And then we have our pricing section. So when I hover on these boxes, you can see the effect. And then we have our team section, and the same kind of effect is happening here also. And then we have our blog section. Okay, and then our contact us section, and finally the footer section. So this theme is completely responsive because we have designed in Bootstrap 5. So let me just show you. So let me just show you on the tablet. As you can see, and also on mobile it is responsive. So yeah, that's it. Without further ado, let's get started. First thing that I'm gonna do is to open a text editor. So I'm using Visual Studio Code. So I created two folders inside this YT folder. Okay, one is for CSS and the other is for images. So now I'm gonna create another file. I'm gonna name it index.html, and I'm going to visit gitbootstrap.com, and then click on the docs, and then click on the starter template. I'm gonna copy this starter template, and I'm gonna paste it right here. I'm gonna save it, and then I'm going to remove these comments. Okay, I'm gonna save it, and then I'm going to go to the components and search for navigation bar, and I'm going to copy this navigation, and I'm going to paste it right here. Okay, I'm gonna delete this and then I'm going to add comment. It's going to be navigation bar. So navigation bar ends here. Okay, and I'm going to open this file with live server, which is a plugin in VS Code. Okay, so what I want to do, I want to push these nav links to the right side. So for that, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add a class of margin start to auto. Okay, so these navigation bar, these nav links on the right side, and I'm going to remove this fluid. I'm gonna save it. So I need some space from the left side, so as you can see, and then I'm going to add my logo, which is these images are I copied from the finished project to this folder. Say logo dark. I'm gonna save it. So as you can see, your logo is now here. So I'm going to add these navigation links. Okay, I'm gonna search for I'm gonna delete some of these. It's going to be home, it's going to be services, in features, I'm gonna paste it again. Home services, features, portfolio pricing theme, blog, and finally contact us. I'm gonna save it. So this is the theme, and I'm going to add some space, and I'm pairing top and bottom to 3 rim, so as you can see, and then I'm going to add a button. So I'm going to collapse these, and here I'm gonna add a button, btn minus primary. Okay, button has been added. So I want to give some space between these lengths and the button, so I'm gonna say margin start to 3. Okay, so I want to give the space only when the screen size is larger, so I'm gonna say on larger screen size, this is going to be 3 rim. Okay, and then I'm going to add a hero section. So I'm going to click on format document in beautify. So now the document, the text and everything is now properly indent. I'm going to add hero section. It's going to be hero, div class of hero. Okay, inside this class I'm gonna take container. Okay, and inside this I'm gonna add a row. It's going to be column lg minus 7. Okay, I'm gonna create heading 1. I'm gonna say okay, and I'm going to add another class, display 4. Okay, so now the text size is now larger. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to copy the text from the finished project, and then I'm going to paste it here. Okay, so as you can see, okay, so I'm going to add the 2 buttons, btn minus primary. Say text will be get started. I'm going to duplicate this button, copy and paste, and the other button will be outline light, and the text will be my portfolio. Okay, so our hero section is now ready. So I want to make the content to center. So for that, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give it a height. Viewport height is going to be 100 vh, and this is going to be this d minus flex. It's gonna make a flex and align item to center. Okay, so now the content is in the center, and yeah, that's it for the hero and navigation. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm going to maximize the screen and click on the CSS. Inside the CSS folder, I'm going to create a file called style.css. Okay, and I'm going to link to that file, css/style.css. okay, and I use this font which is known as Sora, so which is a Google font. So I'm going to get this font from Google Fonts. So I'm gonna use this font, the weight 400, 700. Okay, yeah, these two weights I'm gonna copy. Okay, and I'm going to paste it here. Okay, now I'm going to close this window. Okay, so now let me just define some variable. The first variable is going to be the primary color. I'm gonna name it primary, and I'm gonna get this primary color from this finished project. So which is this color. I'm gonna copy it. I'm gonna paste it right here. Okay, this is going to be primary. This is going to be our dark color, this color. I'm gonna copy. I'm gonna paste it right here, and the body color is going to be add. Okay, and I'm gonna define another color for the box. Another variable is going to be box shadow. Zero pixel from the x-axis and add pixel from the y-axis, and the spread is going to be 22 pixel, and the color is going to be dark, 0.1 I guess. Okay, so now let me change the body font. Okay, so I'm gonna do font family is going to be Sora sans serif. Okay, so now the font is changed to the Sora font, and the line height is going to be 1.7. okay, and color is going to be the body color. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do next, I'm going to select heading 1, heading 2, and all these headings. Display 4, this color is going to be dark. Okay, and the link color is going to be also dark, and the text decoration is going to be none. Okay, so what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna place an image in the hero section. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to say hero background image. It's going to be URL. It's going to be /image and the cover. Okay, when I refresh, so you can see the image has appeared. So the background position for the image is going to be center. Okay, and background size is going to be cover, and also background attachment is going to be fixed. So as you can see, we have our hero section, So as you can see, the text color is dark, and I want to make the color to white. So for that I'm going to change the color. So I can change the color by adding a class of text white. This will make the text white, and also I'm going to make the text to white paragraph. Saved. And now I want to make the content to center. So for that I'm gonna add another class, mx auto. This will make the content to the center, and the text is also going to be center. So now everything is centered. So what I'm gonna do next, I'm going to place an overlay on these on the image. So for that, what I'm gonna do, I'm going to say hero after. Okay, before creating an overlay, let me just add some properties. The position for this is going to be relative, and the z index is going to be 2. Okay, and then I'm gonna say content is going to be nothing, and width 100, and also height is going to be 100. Okay, position is going to be absolute, and it is going to be from the top to 0 and also from the left to 0. Let me just give the background color red. So as you can see, we have that overlay. So I'm gonna say z index is going to be -1. So as you can see that it is above on that image, so I'm gonna reduce the overlay. Okay, so I'm gonna reduce the opacity to 0.8. As you can see, we have that overlays now. So the other thing that I'm gonna do is to make the logo a bit small. So it is no, I think its size is a bit large. So for that, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna say navigation bar. I'm gonna give it a class logo, and the width is going to be 160 pixel. I'm gonna add the class of logo to this image. Okay, so now the logo is small. So, and also I want to make the font weight for this heading to 700. Okay, so as you can see, and I want to give some space between the text and this button. So for that, what I'm gonna do, I'm going to select this, and I'm gonna make it be my to 4. So as you can see, we have some space. So I think I'm gonna give it my3 will be okay. Okay, so, and I'm gonna make the navigation links to bold. Sorry, not bold. I'm gonna reduce the size for these navigation links. I'm gonna copy nav link. Okay, font size is going to be 14. Okay, and the font weight is going to be 700. Okay, and I'm gonna increase the button padding to 14 pixel from the top and bottom, and 18 pixel from the left and right. I'm gonna save it, you can see, and then I'm going to add the border width is going to be 2 pixel. Okay, and the border radius is going to be 0. I'm gonna save it, so as you can see, and I'm gonna give some space between these buttons. So for that, I'm gonna select this button. I'm gonna say margin right, margin end to 2. As you can see, we have some space. I think 3 will be enough. 2 is okay. And I want to make the navigation bar to stack, so if I scroll down, the navigation bar should also be scrolling. So I'm gonna add another class of sticky top, so this will make the navigation bar to sticky. So as you can see, okay, so I'm going to design these services. Okay, so I'm going to collapse these two sections. Okay, and then I'm going to this hero section, end it here. And create a section, ID of section. So as you can see, we have some space from the top and bottom. So what I'm gonna do, section padding top is going to be 120 pixel, and the padding bottom is also going to be 120 pixel. Okay, so as you can see, we have some space. I'm gonna create a container class, and inside this container class I'm going to add a column 12. Okay, column md at. Okay, so this is going to be heading. I'm going to say services. I'm going to create another take another tag. It's going to be heading. This will say so as you can see, and the text color for the h6 is going to be primary. Text is going to be primary. Okay, so these are the Bootstrap utility classes that I'm using. Okay, and I'm gonna copy this text. Okay, I'm gonna paste it below the heading tag. So as you can see, we have this. So I'm gonna make the content to center. I'm gonna say mx auto. Okay, and the text is going to be center. Okay, which is looking good. And then I'm gonna create another row. It's going to be row. Okay, it's going to be dot column lg4. I'm going to create a class of icon box. Okay, I'm going to place an icon. Excuse me. So the icon that I have used in this project is from this box icon. So I'm gonna go to the usage, and I'm gonna copy this link, import to CSS link. I'm gonna copy, and then I'm going to paste it here. I'm gonna paste it right here. Okay, and then I'm gonna right click and format with beautify. Okay, and I'm gonna find some icons. Click on the box icons. So okay, I'm gonna paste it right here, and I'm gonna take a heading tag h5, say service. I'm gonna say Durham 20. Okay, save it. I'm gonna refresh. So I'm gonna reduce some text. Okay, save it. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm going to create another class. It's going to be card effect. Okay, and the box shadow is going to be variable box shadow. Okay, background is going to be white, and padding is going to be 25 pixel. Okay, and the transition 3-5 second is okay. And I'm gonna say card effect on hover, box shadow will be none, and transform translate Y, I'm gonna push from the top to 5 pixel. Okay, and now I'm going to add this card effect to this service box. I'm gonna save it. So as you can see, this is not gonna be I added to the font, so I'm gonna wrap these icon and text to another class service. I'm gonna paste it here, save it. So as you can see, I'm gonna say card effect. So as you can see, we have that effect. Okay, and now I'm going to design the service box. Okay, let me say icon box, where it is going to be 54 pixel, height is going to be 54 pixel, and display flex align items to be center, and justify content to be center. Okay, so this will make the icon to the center of this box, and the background color is going to be primary. Okay, and the color is going to be white. So as you can see, we have that icon, and the font size is going to be 24 pixel, sorry, 32 pixel, and the border radius is going to be 100 pixel. So as you can see, we have that icon. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm going to give some space. Margin top is going to be 4 rem, and margin bottom is going to be 2 rem. Okay, so I'm gonna reduce some text and save it. So we have our service box is ready. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm going to add another class. So it means on larger devices it will cover 4 column space, and from small to large it will cover 6 column space, including medium device. And below from the small device screen sizes, it will cover 12 column space. Okay, so I'm gonna copy and paste. Okay, so let me show you. So as you can see, it is covering 3 column space, and when it so this is the medium device, it covers 2, and also on small screen sizes it is covering 2 column space. Okay, so yeah, so I'm gonna copy paste it, I'm gonna save it. So as you can see, so now we don't have horizontally we have some space, but vertically between these boxes we don't have some space. So I'm gonna give it that space. I'm gonna say gutter space is going to be 4 horizontally and vertically. So as you can see, we have 4 columns, some spaces, so which is looking great. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the icon for the rest of these other boxes. So I changed the icons for the rest of the other uh, icon boxes. So as you can see, we don't have some space between these icons and this intro section. So I'm gonna give some space. I'm gonna say margin bottom to 5 frame. So as you can see, we have some space now. And also I want to change the navigation color, background color to white. So I'm going to BG to white. Okay, and also I'm going to give the shadow. So for that I'm going to go to the navigation bar. Okay, I'm gonna give the shadow, box shadow to be variable, box shadow. I'm gonna save it. So as you can see, we have some space. Okay, so when I click on the services, it should goes to the services. So I'm gonna do that. So here is the services. Okay, I'm gonna give the ID to services. So when I click on the services, so it is not working. Services. It's not working. ID is, oh, there are 2 IDs. So as you can see, it is working now. So when I click on the home, it should go back to the top. So I'm gonna give the hero section of ID home. So as you can see, it is working now. And then I'm going to add the section, which is, okay, I have to add this effect. Like when you hover on these boxes, so as you can see, so I have to add this. Okay, for that what I'm going to do, I'm gonna select the service. Okay, I'm gonna say position to relative and z index to 2 and overflow to hidden. Okay, overflow hidden, and I'm gonna say service after content is going to be nothing. Okay, width is going to be 100% and height is going to be 100% and position is going to be absolute. From the top it is going to be 0 and from the left is also going to be 0, and I'm gonna give it a background color of be primary color. This is going to be primary. Okay, and I want to hide this, so I'm gonna give the opacity to 0. Okay, and I'm gonna say from the top it is going to be minus 100%. Okay, I'm gonna save it. And now what I'm gonna do, when I hover on this service box, the this should be appear. So for that, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna say service h5, and paragraph color is going to be white. Okay, and I'm gonna select the icon, service dot icon box, background color is going to be white, and the color for the icon is going to be the primary color. Okay, I'm gonna save it, and as you can see, we have this effect. So now I'm going to, when on the hover, I want to appear this, so this will be on the hover. Okay, on the hover, this is going to be when I hover on the service h5, and h6 is going to be white, paragraph is going to be white. Okay, so now I want to show this After Effect. So I'm going to say dot service hour. What I want to do, I want to show this. So I'm going to say opacity to 1, and from the top it is going to be 0. Okay, so I'm gonna give the transition to this after. Transition all 0.4 second is, so you will see, so we have this effect. Okay, so it is looking good. So now I'm going to design the feature section, which is this section. So for that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add another section. I'm going to copy the comment. I'm going to place the comment. This is going to be service. Okay, so I'm gonna create a section tag. Inside this tag, I'm gonna give ID of features. Okay, I'm gonna copy this comment, paste it right here. I'm gonna paste it at the end of this tag, and this is going to be our, it's going to be features. Okay, so I'm gonna give it a class of row. Okay, and as you can see, we have horizontal scrolling, so I don't want this. I'm gonna give it a width of 100%. Okay, so now we don't have that scrolling. I'm gonna create a column 6. I'm gonna name give it another class of column image. Okay, and I'm gonna create another column. Okay, and inside this column, so as you can see, we have one column for the image, so this is for the image column, this one, and the other one is for the content. So for this content, so what I'm gonna do, I am going to create another container inside a row. Okay, I'm gonna create a class of md of 10. This is going to cover 10 column space, this div. on medium device, okay, and above, and 12 column below the medium devices. Okay, that's it. So I'm going to add the content. I'm gonna copy this text, okay, and inside these features I'm gonna paste it here. Okay, this is going to be our features. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna copy the text, this text from the finished project, and I'm gonna paste it right here. Okay, and I'm gonna, so I don't need to refresh because, you know, with the help of live server it is auto refreshing when I save the file. Okay, so I'm going to add the image. So I'm gonna select the image column. I'm gonna copy it, and inside this I'm gonna say column image, and I'm going to copy from the hero section, copy this code, and I'm going to paste it right here. I don't need these two and also this one, and I'm going to change this to 2. I'm going to refresh. So as you can see, we have this image, and I'm going to give minimum height to 500 pixel. Okay, so as you can see, we have this image and the content. So as you can see, we have some space between the image and this content. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to push the content one column. So I'm gonna say column, I'm gonna say offset minus MD minus 1. So I'm gonna push one column from the left side only on medium and above the medium screen devices. So as you can see, we have this space, and I'm going to add these feature icons. So as you can see, we have these icons, so I'm gonna do that. I'm going to copy from the services, so I'm gonna copy this, okay, and then I'm going to paste it right here. Okay, I'm gonna name it to feature. Okay, and I don't need this card effect. Okay, I'm gonna say display d flex, which is going to display flex, and I don't need this spacing. I'm gonna say feature. Okay, so this is, so as you can see, we have this, and I'm going to wrap this content. Okay, so as you can see, the icon is stretched. So to fix that, I'm going to go to the icon box, flex to none. So this will gonna fix that. So it will, by adding that property, it will not gonna shrink the icon or grow. So yeah, that's it. So I'm going to add some space from the left side of the icon. So what I'm gonna, margin end to 2 rem. Okay, 3 rem will be enough. Yeah, 3 rem is enough. So I want to give some space between the intro title and this icon. So I'm gonna add a class of margin top of 4 or 5. Save it. So we have some space, and then I'm going to reduce the text a bit. Save it. So now this is looking good, and then I'm going to copy paste. Okay, so I don't need the space for the other features. So as you can see, we have these icons, so I'm gonna change the icon. So I changed the icon, and now I'm going to add a background color. So the background color for this section is going to be light, bg light, and also I'm going to give some space between the text and the section. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna say py to 5, padding 5 frame. So as you can see, we have some space. So I don't want the top spacing from the section, so that I have defined. So I'm gonna say padding top and bottom is going to be 0. So as you can see, we don't have that space. So let me see on the different screen sizes. So as you can see, it is looking good. Nice. Now I'm going to design the project section. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to add another section. Let me duplicate this section. This is going to be a feature section. I'm going to copy and paste it right here. I don't need this. I'm going to copy the services section. Services, okay. I'm gonna copy. I'm gonna paste it right here, and then I'm going to remove this. Okay, this is going to be projects. Okay, so let me just, and then I'm going to create the icon, the projects. I'm gonna create a row, and inside this row I'm going to create a project, create a column lg4 and column sm sex. Okay, I'm going to create a class of project. It's going to be image. Okay, as you can see, the image is very large, so to fix that, I'm going to say all the images is going to be responsive, which means I'm going to give it 100% width. Okay, and now and now I'm going to add overlay. Okay, so this will be the title for the project. Project title, and it's going to be website design. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, so as you can see, this project section cover the whole space. So as you can see, so to do that, I'm going to add a class. Sorry, it's going to be Floyd. So as you can see, and I'm going to design the project section now. It's going to be project. Okay, and I'm gonna say project is going to be position relative, and z index is going to be 2, where flow is going to be hidden. Okay, so I'm gonna say project dot overlay position absolute, from the top it is going to be 0, and from the left side is going to be 0, 100%, and height is going to be 100% as well. Okay, and I'm going to copy the overlay from the hero section. I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna go to the project. The background color is going to be this, and the z index is going to be -1. Okay, so yeah, I don't need to give the z index. Okay, so, and I'm gonna remove this one also. Okay, so what I want to do, I want to make the text and the subtitle to white. So either I can use Bootstrap utility class like text white, and also text white. So you can see the text is now white, and I'm going to wrap this inside a div class. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm going to make the content to the bottom, and I'm gonna give the padding to 30 pixel, and consider display flex, and align item to center, flex and so as you can see we have project. So now what I'm going to do, I'm gonna add transition. And I'm going to say the opacity is going to be 0. Okay, and I'm going to say project. I'm going to select the image. I'm going to say it. Also I'm going to give the transition to this. I'm going to copy, and then I'm going to paste it here, and I'm going to say, yeah, it's like this. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm going to, when I hover on this project, the overlay should be appear, and the image should be like this. Image should be zoom a bit. So for that, what I'm going to do, I'm gonna say project hover. On hover, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna select the project overlay. I'm gonna say dot overlay. The opacity is going to be 1, so as you can see, and project hover, the image should be transform scale 1.1. so as you can see we have that effect, which is looking nice. So now I'm going to copy paste. You know I love copy paste, so I'm gonna copy paste, copy and then paste. So we have this project. I'm gonna give a gutter width of 3. Okay, and I'm gonna change the image. So as you can see we have this beautiful effect, which is looking nice. So the ID is going to be projects. Okay, this is looking great. So now I'm going to design the pricing section. So to design that, I'm going to copy this section. I'm gonna paste it right here, and I'm going to remove this. Okay, I'm gonna save it. Okay, so I'm gonna say pricing. I'm gonna rename this to save it. Okay, I'm going to, the background for this is going to be light, bg light. Okay, and I'm going to add the services boxes, sorry, not services boxes, the project table. So I'm gonna add another row. This will be column lg for 3 and dot sm6. Okay, I'm gonna say pricing. Okay, h6 is going to be starter, say h1 pricing of $99. Okay, so as you can see we have that. I'm gonna it should be container, not float. So I'm gonna take an order list. I'm gonna say an icon. So I'm gonna search for check, this one. I'm gonna copy and I'm gonna paste it right here, and I'm gonna add the text. I'm gonna copy the text. Okay, I'm gonna paste it right here. I'm gonna copy and paste. Okay, then I'm going to paste it again and click on format with beautify. I'm gonna copy and paste it couple of times. I'm gonna save it and then I'm gonna again click on beautify. So I'm gonna change the text. Add the button below this. I say button, class of button. This will be button primary. I'm gonna say get started. Okay, so to remove these bullets I'm gonna add a class. It's going to be list unstyled. So as you can see we don't have those bullets, and I'm going to give some space. I'm gonna add horizontal line. So as you can see we have that line, and I'm going to add a class of card effect. Okay, we have that effect now, and I'm gonna give some space from the bottom, margin bottom to 4. So as you can see we have our pricing is ready. So I'm gonna change the icon, change the size of this icon and color. So I'm gonna say pricing font size is going to be 20 pixel and the color is going to be primary. Okay, and I'm going to give some space between the list item. Eight pixel. So as you can see we have some space. So now I'm going to copy and paste the pricing table. It's going to copy, and the text is going to be center. Okay, but text is now in the center. So I'm gonna copy and paste. paste it one more time. So I'm gonna change the price. This is going to be 199. So our pricing section is ready, and as you can see the effect, which is looking great. So now I'm going to design our team section. So I'm going to duplicate this section. This is going to be projects, and this is going to be pricing. I'm going to duplicate this section, copy, paste. I don't need this row, so I'm going to remove it and I'm going to save it. Change this to team. And I'm going to remove the background light class. It's going to be pricing. The ID is going to be pricing for that, and this is going to be the team. Okay, I'm going to create a row below this. It's going to be LG3 on SM, column SM. It's going to cover 6 column space. It's going to be team member, and create an image. Okay, I'm gonna give this is going to be H5. Okay, so I gave it a fake name, and this guy is going to be this is going to be web developer. Okay, and I'm going to reduce some space. Margin bottom is going to be 1. Yep, I'm gonna say margin bottom to 0. So we have this space now. I'm gonna create social links, social icons. Inside this I'm gonna create anchor tag. I'm gonna search for Facebook. Copy, I'm gonna paste it. Twitter, I'm gonna search for Twitter. I'm gonna copy this font. Inside this I'm gonna paste it. Okay, so I don't need this space. So we have our team section. So now I'm gonna add a class of card effect. Whoa, card effect. Okay, I'm going to design this team section, team member. Copy this, and inside I'm gonna paste it here. Image is going to be width 175 pixel. Height is going to be border radius is going to be okay, and the text is going to be center. Okay, I'm going to reduce the height and width to 125, and I'm going to design these social icons. Width is going to be 34 pixel. Background color is going to be primary. Border is going to be 2 pixels solid. Primary color. And the color is going to be white. Save it. So as you can see, I'm gonna say display to flex, okay, and center, and align item to be center as well. So as you can see, and I'm gonna give a border radius 100 pixel, and the social icon is also going to be flex. I'm gonna make it flex, display flex, and align item to be center. So as you can see, I'm gonna make it to horizontally center, so I'm gonna say justify content to center. So as you can see, we have these icons, and I'm gonna give some space, margin left to 5 pixel, and the transition all 0.4 second is okay. And when I hover on these social links, I want to change the color of the icon, and color is going to be primary. Background is going to be transparent. So let me see. Border color is going to be primary. I did not add the border. Primary, okay. So as you can see, we have that effect. So now I'm going to copy and paste. So I'm going to give some space from the top. So now we have some space. I'm going to copy and paste. Okay, I'm going to change the image. Team 4, 3, 2, and yeah. So our team section is now ready. So I'm gonna design the blog section. It's going to be our team. I'm going to copy section. I'm gonna paste it right here. This is going to be our blog section. Okay, I'm going to refresh. Yep, and the background color for this section is going to be light. I'm going to create a row, column MD of 4. It's going to be blog post, image. Change the image. It's going to be image slash and say h5. I'm going to copy this text for the heading. Going to copy, and then I'm going to paste it right here. Okay, and this is going to be the anchor tag inside. So as you can see, so the color for the anchor tag should be dark. Oops, it's going to be dark. And I'm going to add a class of card effect. Okay, I'm going to copy and paste. I'm gonna change this one, is going to be block 3, block 2, and as you can see, and I want to give some space between the title and the image, so I'm going to select the h5 tag. I'm gonna hold Control and then press D. I'm gonna say class margin top to 4. So as you can see, we have some space. This is looking cool. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm going to, this is going to be block. I'm gonna rename this to block, and also I'm going to rename this to, yep, that is fine. Copy. I'm gonna paste it right here. I'm gonna remove this row. I'm gonna change this to contact, and the title is going to be okay. So what I'm gonna do now is to create another row. I'm gonna take a form, and I'm gonna give it a class of row. Okay, let's say column MD of 5. Okay, I'm gonna create an input. Class is going to be form control, and placeholder is going to be full name. So as you can see, we have that, and I don't need this. Okay, so I'm going to copy this, I'm gonna paste it, and this is also going to be 5 column. This is going to be enter email. Okay, and then I'm going to copy, I'm gonna paste, and this will cover 10 column space, and the text is going to be subject, and then I'm going to copy this one more time. I'm going to, this will be text area. The rows is going to be 5. Class is going to be form control. Okay, as you can see, and the placeholder is going to be message, and I'm gonna copy this one, I'm gonna paste, I'm going to remove this, I'm gonna create a button. This is going to be class of button primary, and the text is going to be get started, or say contact. So as you can see, we have our form. So I want this button to cover the whole space, so for that I'm gonna say d minus grid. So as you can see, So I want to give some space from these between these forms. So I'm gonna say g minus 3. Okay, so I want to make the form to the center, so I'm gonna add a class justify. So the form is now in the center. I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna say form input dot form control height is going to be 56 pixel. So as you can see, and form border is going to be transparent, and border radius is going to be 0, and the background color is going to be dark 0.2. I'm gonna save it. So let's see. Okay, so the color is going to be 0.02. So as you can see, it is looking great. So now I'm going to design the footer section. The ID is going to be contact. It's going to be contact, and I'm gonna create footer. Inside this, I'm gonna create a class of footer top, create a container. It's going to be column md of 4. I'm gonna add a logo. It's going to be image slash logo white. Okay, and I'm gonna say footer footer top, padding top is going to be 90 pixel, padding bottom is going to be 90 pixel, and the background color is going to be dark. Okay, so yep, that's it. And I'm going to add a class of logo. So as you can see, logo class, it's going to be logo. Okay, so I'm going to add these lengths. So it's going to be column md of 2. It's going to be h5. Say brand. I'm gonna add some links. It's going to be about. I'm gonna copy and paste. Okay, I'm gonna add some other fake links, so it's going to be more. Going to copy and paste. This is going to be okay, so this is going to be, for example, So this should be inside of column. It should be inside this column. So as you can see, I'm going to add these pages. So I'm gonna copy this and paste. I'm gonna rename this to contact. Okay, I'm going to copy. Just contact us. And paste. Then I'm going to copy this fake email. This is going to be inside this list items. I'm gonna copy this phone number. Okay, I'm gonna paste it inside this. And I don't need the last one, so I'm gonna remove that. Okay. So I'm gonna select this H5, Control D. Okay. I'm gonna give a class of text white. Okay. And I'm gonna select this UL. It's going to be class of list unstyled, so this will remove these bullets. Okay, and I'm going to change the color for the link. Color is going to be the body color. Okay, so as you can see, and the hover color is going to be white. I'm gonna copy, paste, color is going to be white. So as you can see, and this last column is going to cover 4 column space. Okay, I'm gonna give some gutter space, GY to 4. As you can see, we have some space now. You will see. Okay, so as you can see, we have some space. And then I'm going to design the footer bottom. Going to be footer minus bottom. I'm gonna copy the text. Okay, it's going to be okay. I'm gonna copy and paste this one more time, and I'm gonna copy the social links. So I'm gonna copy these social icons. I'm gonna paste it inside this. So as you can see, we have social links, and I'm gonna give a padding of 3. Okay, say footer bottom, background color is going to be okay. So as you can see, it is perfectly working. So now let's see. So I'm going to add these links. It's going to be features, portfolio, pricing, and this is going to be the team. So we'll go to the team, blog, and contact. So let's see. Okay, portfolio is not working, team, blog, and contact. So let's see the portfolio. This is going to be portfolio. So now it is working. So let's see the responsiveness. looking good. So I need to give some space between these pricing boxes. So it's going to be GY G minus 4. So we have some space now. And also I'm going to give the gutter to 4 inside this team row. So I'm gonna say G to 4, which is going to add 4 rem, and that is looking cool. And also I'm going to add this to the block section. So now this is working fine. Okay guys, so that is it for this video. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure to like, and yeah, see you in the next video. So thank you for watching again, and take care, and see you in the next video.